very welcome with us. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you all, and I hope you'll find this little talk on education as a minor subject useful. You might take education as a minor subject. You can combine education with English, history, journalism, geography, or environmental studies. And we're really trying to help you along your journey to help inspire others, learners in many different contexts, both formal and informal schooling learning. And through that process, to help shape societies and build a better community, particularly here within Northern Ireland. So what are we going to look at today? Well, why study education as a subject at Ulster? What you will learn on the course and the method and means in which you will be taught, how we can support you in your learning journey, and hear some of what our students think about the course, and also look at some of the future careers that you might go on to take after your study with us at undergraduate. So first of all, why study at Ulster? Well, we are a fantastic university. We have really personalised teaching and support. We have small group learning scenarios, and we really are concerned with you as a person. If you're not happy in your studies, you are unlikely to succeed. So supporting you in your learning, building a really good rapport with you is key to what we do. We also have very innovative teaching. We use lots of modern technology and are very progressive in how we use that technology to teach you. So for instance, you may be using VR headsets, looking at hybrid learning models. We will do lots of practical activities for you to engage with. So it's really contemporary, real-world, problem-based learning that you'll experience in the course. And we are the civic university, so we're really concerned with making an impact on our local community, working in partnership with all the different spheres which makes up this wonderful place we call Northern Ireland. And we particularly work alongside a number of schools across the province. We also have a very internationalised curriculum, so we look at education across the globe and the role that education has, particularly in things like peace and conflict building. And we are unique in that we have one of only 2 chairs in Ireland, a chair is a professorship, an endorsement by UNESCO. And our UNESCO Centre conducts lots of very high impact and innovative research that is embedded within our curriculum and studies in education as a minor. So what will you learn? Well, we're really concerned with getting you started on your career and building critical and innovative thinking abilities, because that's one of the key things that industry have told us they need out of our graduates. So we also develop good interpersonal skills. So collaborative learning will be a significant part of many of the modules that you will study. But of course, independent skills and being able to work on your own initiative and develop your own work is really significant as well. And that's part of the assessment process as well. And we help you facilitate effective learning environments. So the skills that you would be expected as a graduate to have in running training and development courses, or indeed the courses, the type of skills that are required by teachers for delivering effective learning. Degrees are designed to give you the skills and experiences needed to start your career and really build on a lifelong journey in learning. So it will be a 3-year course, or perhaps 4 years if you take a paid placement year or a study abroad option, which is really highly recommended. That's highly prized by industry, that you have those experience, and it will really help you get a job post graduation. So we do recommend the placement year, which is usually in between your second and final year of studies. So your first year will be very much the fundamentals of learning, how students learn and how we facilitate that learning, what skills are required by facilitators learning to ensure that effective learning takes place. We will look at the purpose, place and practice and policy indeed of education. Then in second year, we develop on those fundamental skills, and we look at whole child development and the needs in which learners of all age ranges come to the learning place with. And you will also take then a placement module, which will be 1 day a week in an educational placement of your choice. So it could be with young children, it could be with adult learners, it could be within industry in a training role. That's very much led by you. And like I said, you can have a placement year that's usually conducted through your main subject, but of course can have an educational element to it. Then in final year, you will study the social and cultural implications of education and look at multiculturalism in education, look at how learners are marginalised and barriers to learning and how we overcome those issues for a fairer and more just society. So how will you be taught? Well, we have a really diverse range of teaching methods for us to more interesting for you to have a diversity of experiences. So of course we will have traditional lectures, that is part of most universities. But even within those traditional lectures, they will be interactive and very much engaging, and you will hopefully enjoy those. We have small group tutorials and seminars where you can really pick apart and delve into that key information that's covered in lectures and get a greater handle on whatever topic it is we happen to be studying. There will be a blended approach, so there will be online collaborative learning experiences, which again are very interactive, and you will be working in groups whenever those events happen. And that is also, we've really developed during the COVID years to really embrace all the functions and interactivity of online learning. We have action projects and problem-based learning as well, which are putting the theory that you may learn in some of the lectures into applied problem-solving situations, which is again another skill that industry are very keen that our graduates have. So what's a typical week? Well, a typical week in education as a minor is approximately 3 contact hours per lecture. As education is your minor subject, you will take 2 modules in your major subject and 1 module in your minor. So on average, your semester is broken up into 3 modules. Now there's some variations with that. When you get into 3rd year, for instance, your dissertation module is larger. It's essentially 2 modules put together. Some major subjects have smaller modules which are 10 credit points rather than the average 20. But on balance, it's usually 3 modules, and those will be 2 in your main subject and 1 in your minor, which usually works out about 3 contact hours a week. You should then spend in the region of 10 hours a week in either conducting reading, set tasks for your seminars, or coursework. So for instance, maybe writing your essays, things like that. You will also have collaborative learning activities with your peers, usually in the blended online environment. And then, as I already said, you will have your 2 subject modules, which will have a similar workload of hours. So how do we support you? Well, the key thing that we feel is really important in supporting you in your journey is to develop really good relationships with our students. When we know our students and we value you as people and individuals, then that engages you better. Also, it's what we want to do. We want to get to know you well. And when that personal relationship builds up, it really helps you to approach us about any problems that you have, to help support you in your understanding of topics that we're exploring, and to build a cohesive social environment on the course. So I think that's one of the most important things we do to support you. But we also have one-to-one mentoring sessions and student buddies. We always have a staff and open door policy, so if we're in our office, please feel free to knock and come in. We always love to see students. More commonly now, we're using virtual means of Teams Zoom, things like that, to connect with our students as well, which gives you even greater connectivity to us. And not by any means least, you can always email us. So we're very, very approachable, and love to hear from our students and have you dropping in on us. So that's important. There's also online resources available through Collaborate, so all your course materials will be up there, links to reading, and your library resources now, while I strongly encourage you to go to the physical library and enjoy picking a book off a shelf. It's a lovely experience and you must do so as students. Many of our library resources are electronic resources now, so you can access those remotely from the comfort of your own home as well. With small class sizes, and we develop you also by having career sessions built into our lecture program. So we invite the career service in to you to help develop your CVs and how to develop the skills and experiences that industry really require from you. And then finally, the university student support union. We have sports and recreation clubs and societies. We have financial support. We have the chaplaincy, and we have mental health support services as well. And of course, we have residential services for those of you who are staying in university halls and accommodation. So those should catch, all of those various mechanisms should definitely catch any support that you require.
Hello, my name is Kate Mcgrath and I'm a second year mature student studying at Ulster University in Coleraine. I decided to come back to education to do my degree. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to become a teacher, but I had family commitments and had 3 children, and now they're of an age where I can embark on that journey and on that dream. So when I was looking for universities to go to, I came to Ulster University Colerane's Open Day, and I just immediately felt very at home, and the place just appealed to me so much. I spoke with the lecturers that were doing the talks, and I just found it like an amazing place. I just knew it would be right for me. The course, the history with education course, well, I've always loved history. I like Irish history in particular, and doing education for me was important because it was going to give me an insight and a starting point for the PGCE to allow me to prepare for that and make sure that I was definitely doing the right thing, because I feel as a mature student I don't have room for error. I love the education module. The education classes are so engaging. We have lots of fun in them. We have loads of active participation. They bring in guest speakers as well to discuss things like children in crossfire, and we've had talkers in NSPCC and things like that. So it's been really, really good. It's been very eye-opening too, to see that children from all backgrounds and scenarios will be in your care when you do pursue that career. There's great camaraderie amongst the pupils in the education module, and even though I'm a mature student, I don't feel out of place. I get on very, very well with everybody, and I really love the programme. I probably would say that the best style of learning for me is definitely the active participation. I feel that I get loads out of it when I can contribute to something and I can remember it in a way when I've participated in it, rather than just sitting reading books or the lecturers talking at you kind of all day. But even through lockdown, they've been fantastic. Even the Blackboard Collaborate classes have been so engaging. They've tried to make them fun. We've been able to be in smaller groups to do group work. I feel like they've really given it 110%. It's my dream to be a teacher, and doing the education modules has just made that even more instilled in me. I feel that at Ulster University, and going to Ulster University, that has made that dream feel like it's totally achievable. So I'm looking forward to the future. Thanks.
So this could be you. You could come to us to study education, get out and into schools, build up your career, develop new skills and extracurriculars, and contribute towards an Edge Award, and come out with a degree that has lots of experience and lots of wonderful time spent with us. We have a range of other activities that our students have taken part in. I have one student at the minute who is a published author and publishes widely across the United States and writes educational articles. So that could be something else that you would like to explore. So education graduates are in really high demand because we have a wonderful mix in education of professional, technical and practical skills, which makes you a really well-rounded candidate for employment. So our courses are accredited and recognised qualifications, but they also have those practical experience which helps you really shine when it comes to job interviews. You will develop an ability to solve practical problems. You will apply lots of scientific design and creativity, as well as computing skills to solve problems. And we also do project management skills as well. And finally, most importantly, you should develop a good ability to articulate and communicate your ideas in a range of different formats, from presentation style work to the written form of project reports and essay writing, and really that's something that's highly prized again by all industries. So if you would like a little bit more information about entry requirements for education as a minor, then if you go to your main subject, so that could be English, history, geography, journalism, environmental science, whatever the entry requirements are for that course are what's for, say for instance, journalism and education. So the journalism is the entry requirements for education as well. If you require any further information, please feel free to email admissions@ulster.ac.uk, or indeed my email address is ak.hunter@ulster.ac.uk. Thank you for joining me today. I really hope to see you soon. You'll always receive a warm welcome at Ulster, and it'll be just a delight to have you.